Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into a story that is literally rewriting our future, the incredible journey of artificial intelligence. We're going to go from ancient dreams all the way to a modern global power struggle. Let's break it down. You see, AI holds this incredible promise, but also this profound risk. And to really get our heads around this double-edged sword, we actually need to go back in time, and I mean way back, to when our ancestors first got their hands on a power that would change, well, everything. And this brings us to the big idea of this explainer, thinking about AI as a new kind of fire. The story of AI isn't just about silicon and code. It's a story that has this eerie mirror image in humanity's first great technological leap. Think about it. For early humans, fire was an absolute game changer. It gave them warmth, it kept predators away, and it cooked their food, which literally fueled the growth of our brains. But it was also a constant danger. If it got out of control, it could wipe out everything. Well, AI is our new fire. It has the potential to solve our biggest, most complex problems, but it also carries this terrifying risk of just getting out of our control. So, where did this whole journey even begin? That brings us to the dawn of automation. This desire for machines that can think and act for us isn't some newfangled idea. It's a dream that's thousands of years old. And believe it or not, it all started with this simple, universal need to tell time. It started with something super simple, sundials, using the sun's shadow to tell time. Great, right? Well, not so much on a cloudy day. So the ancient Greeks got clever and created water clocks. Progress was pretty slow for centuries, until, bam, 1961, the first industrial robot, a machine called Unimate, starts working at a General Motors factory. The age of automation had truly begun. Okay, so this long, slow march of automation, it eventually leads to this epic turning point. Man versus the machine. By the end of the 20th century, these systems had evolved into thinking machines, and that set the stage for these dramatic showdowns, pitting our greatest minds against their own creations. First up, you've got Garry Kasparov. This guy wasn't just a chess grandmaster. He was considered, well, unbeatable. He was world champion for 15 years with a staggering 93% win rate. He was the very picture of human strategic genius. So in 1996, he faces off against IBM's supercomputer, Deep Blue. In this first grade showdown, human genius won out. Kasparov was victorious. But wait, Deep Blue actually won 2 games. And that was a shock. It sent these ripples through the world. For the first time, maybe our intellectual dominance wasn't a sure thing. Just 1 year later, they did it again, a rematch. IBM had seriously upgraded Deep Blue, and this time, the machine won. Kasparov resigned. It was a huge moment. A machine had beaten a reigning world champion. Man's arrogance was completely shattered. But not everyone was convinced. Skeptics, particularly in China, were kind of like, sure, chess is complex, but it's a simple game compared to our ancient game. They believed that was the true test of intelligence. And so the new battlefield was Go. And you have to understand, this game is on another level. It has more possible moves than there are atoms in the entire universe. I mean, just let that sink in. Mastering its deep, intuitive strategy was considered completely impossible for a machine. And then 2016 happens. Google's AlphaGo does what everyone thought was impossible, and the whole world was watching. Literally, 280 million people tuned in as it defeated Lee Sedol, the world's top Go player. A man so good they called him God's mind. The result was a total shock. AlphaGo won, 4-1. And Lee Sedol's words after that match, wow, they were just incredibly powerful. He understood that this wasn't a defeat for our species, but a profound testament to what we are capable of creating. It really marked a new era. That victory just begs the question, how on earth did this happen? So let's look at the brains behind AI. I mean, how did machines get so smart so fast? It wasn't just about faster computers. It was a revolutionary new way of teaching them to think. Okay, so the big breakthrough was this huge shift in thinking, from telling a computer what to do to showing it how to learn. The old way, rule-based programming, is like giving someone a giant instruction manual for every single possible thing that could ever happen. Super rigid, right? It can't handle anything new. But neural networks, they're totally different. Inspired by our own brains, you build a network of digital neurons, and then you train it. You show it millions of examples, and every time it gets one right, the connections that led to that answer get a little stronger. Over time, it literally teaches itself. And this is all done through a process we call deep learning. So first, you just feed the machine an insane amount of data. In AlphaGo's case, countless Go games. Then, you let it play against itself millions and millions of times, learning from every single mistake. And eventually, it discovers strategies and patterns that no human has ever even seen, and it achieves a superhuman skill. Now, with this incredible power unlocked, it's probably no surprise that it sparked a whole new global competition. We are now in the race for supremacy. And this is no longer about board games. It's a technology war, fought mainly between the United States and China, with the future of the world economy and security on the line. The US and China have totally different game plans. The US goes for what you could call a light touch model, where companies like Uber are just platforms connecting people. China, on the other hand, is all in on the heavy touch model, where companies like Didi are involved in every part of the service. And what that does is give them access to a massive amount of integrated data, which is the fuel for AI. And that data advantage, it has real-world consequences. I mean, look at areas like facial and voice recognition that rely on these enormous data sets. China has already pulled way ahead, leading the US by a pretty significant margin. And the race is now moving into this wild, almost sci-fi new frontier, brain-computer interfaces. Yeah, you heard that right. This is technology that creates a direct link between the human brain and a machine. Companies like Elon Musk's Neuralink are literally developing chips that can be implanted in the brain, letting us control computers with our thoughts. So this accelerating race for more power, more data, and even a direct link to our minds brings us right back to where we started. We are now wielding the new fire. It's like we've come full circle, you know? From the first flame lit by our ancestors to the new digital fire of AI, we find ourselves facing the exact same choice they did. We are standing at a fork in the road, and down one path, this technology, man, it could solve diseases, unlock clean energy, maybe even help us explore the stars. But down the other path, it could lead to destruction on a scale we've never seen before. The fire's already lit. There's no putting it out. So the real question, the one we all have to face, is no longer if this power will be used, but who gets to control it and for what purpose. Because as this new age really kicks into gear, one thing is absolutely certain. In this race to master the new fire, getting left behind, well, that's just not an option.